Welcome to Code the Future. Today we're talking sound with Bose, a company that's been redefining audio experiences for over 6 decades. And joining me today is Aaron Jefferson, VP of Products and Partnerships at Bose, on the automotive side of the business.
Automotive side, yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So I actually looked it up before we started chatting. Apparently the first sound system that Bose installed in a vehicle was back in 1983.
That's right.
In a Cadillac Seville.
Yes.
And apparently at the time, people listened to about 20 minutes of music or news within the car, every day. So we fast forward 40 years, 4 decades.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, you could probably tell me how many vehicles or Bose systems are in nowadays, but the average person now listens to about an hour of content in the car. So I'm not sure what that says about the length of our commute, but it certainly speaks to how central the car has become when it comes to entertainment and experiencing sound, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're at about 4.5 million cars a year, brand new cars a year with the Bose experience within it.
Yeah.
And I know myself personally, today I drive 30 minutes to work, but this is the shortest I've ever driven. I've always been an hour away.
Yeah.
And it is my sanctuary for especially leaving work with all the stress.
Yeah.
Put music on, turn it all the way up and just enjoy.
Yeah. So maybe you can speak to, obviously the business has evolved quite a bit over the years, over those four decades or whatnot.
Yeah.
Talk to us about how it's evolved to, accommodate more flexible delivery methods, thinking about software-defined audio, working with partners like QNX and whatnot. There's been a lot of change.
A lot of change.
Yeah.
And that's in automotive in general. I think for me, Matt, it really is around our experience and our performance. So at the baseline functionality and capability, we deliver a certain level of performance and experience that we just don't compromise on. Mm-hmm. And so as long as that doesn't change, then we have to talk about the business, how sound and audio gets delivered, and the changing landscape and architectures that go into the vehicle. Mm-hmm. What's changed mostly for me, and I've been in this space, at least in the automotive engineering space for a long time, design cycles and the speed at which we develop and the desire for more and better audio. I was just joking with someone from our company. I don't know what the definition of done is because all you do is keep getting better and better and better.
Right.
But what we have to do though is be more flexible. Yeah. As the business models change, as audio becomes a bit more competitive in terms of barriers of entry and SDVs and electric vehicles, and I guess the ability to really render maybe good enough sound. We have a lot more competitors now.
Yeah.
There are a lot more brands out there.
Keeps you on your toes.
It keeps us on our toes, and you don't want to be so stuck in your ways that you're not flexible enough to where the market is heading, but you also don't want to lose the core of who you are. So I've been here for a short time, but I come in with a healthy respect for what the Bose name and brand means. And so my job is to hold that integrity, but then also make sure we're positioned for the future to be able to deliver and deliver solutions to the OEMs, but as well as deliver the best sound to our consumers.
Yeah, and I guess at the end of the day too, you want to provide a diversity of options to the OEMs, right? Because some come to you probably and say we want to do it like this, and others say no, we want to do the complete opposite. Yeah. Let's go this. Let's get rid of the amp. Yeah. Let's go the software-defined audio approach. Yeah. So I think sort of that being flexible is the name of the game for the future for you guys, right?
Being flexible, but also knowing who you are and what your standards are. Yeah. And so, and I guess that's probably the most definitive pushback we get internally is, hey, please don't saturate us. Yeah. Don't degrade our performance or our standards. Now, the question is, what is the industry standard? What is the market going toward? And how do we uphold our superior performance, I would say? Yeah. But also that we remain flexible. I think it's the delivery approach, software architecture, software mediums. We have to understand what those are. And my job as partnerships, not necessarily partnerships, but also for product strategies and roadmaps, is to make sure we have the right product to fit within those as we go forward. Yeah. We can't reinvent every time there's a new customer. We got to understand that market and really deliver.
Yeah. And does hardware scarcity play a role at all when OEMs are determining their next generation audio architectures, or is it more about cost savings? What do you see on the ground when you're dealing with customers and stuff?
I think it's more about value. And so what value can we give to an end consumer that they're willing to pay for? Yeah. And that an OEM feels good about promoting and selling to them, and that actually delivers performance. I think in automotive, everything's about cost. I don't care. I don't care where you are. Yeah. I come from the autonomy ADAS space. Okay. And it's always been a very much How do I get what I need and deliver this great performance, but at the cost that I know a customer is willing to pay?
Yeah.
And if you go beyond that cost, I don't understand what that cost envelope is, you can get yourself into trouble.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's so much about scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's a different model in terms of whether or not we deliver the hardware. There are flexible delivery models now where the OEM goes directly to the amplifier supplier and says, "Hey, I want to pick who I want to deliver hardware.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to control the hardware from a purchasing and supply chain standpoint."
Yeah.
And we're okay with that.
Yeah.
Our differentiation, our capability is in the audio solution and the software, and so we're focused on that. And we're trying to drive that. We support the full gamut, the full system, but we also have to understand that the models are changing, and we have to be fluid with that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you've mentioned performance a couple of times in terms of not compromising on that. I also think there's a phrase that Dolby has popularized in terms of the preference for artistic intent. Right?
Yes.
The importance of artistic intent and making sure that is retained,
Yeah.
regardless of what sort of system you choose to. Do you notice any differences depending on, when you finally get into a vehicle based on what an OE has decided to go with, or do you see many differences?
Yes. I mean, if I'll give a really kind of clean example, and I won't say this has happened to us, but we have standards around speaker placement, speaker quality, as well as interface in terms of delivering the actual audio stream.
Yeah.
And so, and that needs to then deliver a pure sound, whether it's connected to CarPlay, whether it's radio, whether it's no more CDs, but whether you're plugging something else in, right?
Yeah.
And so from that, for us, it really is around how do we make sure that we're delivering the quality that we've tested and that we were supposed to deliver.
Yeah.
Now, when we don't control the supply chain, it could be that an OEM says, "Hey, I'm going to go buy this because I got to save costs here or there."
Yeah.
But we still don't want that to compromise. So we do certify speakers and systems.
Yeah.
Again, to try to make sure that when we get somebody that has rendered or recorded something and they have in their mind what this is supposed to sound like, and they get in a vehicle that has Bose in it, that we've done the best job possible to recreate that sound.
Gotcha. Okay. And I know, partners and partnerships is in your title. So
Yeah.
how do you think about your partner relationships, and who do you decide to partner with and collaborate with in the industry?
Yeah.
Thinking of ourselves, QNX or Dolby, or
Yeah. For me, it sounds cliche, but it's a 1 + 1 = 3. How do
better together?
better together? How is us working together delivering something special? But it's also recognizing your limitations. So, there are companies that try to boil the ocean. What I think is unique about Bose is we've really focused on delivering audio content, and we haven't strayed too far away from that. And so we don't lose focus in other areas where it's not our expertise or where we don't add value. So our job, my job in particular, is to make sure we're picking partners that, one, support our vision, but then also they're helping solve problems in the vehicle or with the customer. And so whether it's development, time to delivery, service, development timing, or solutions that can scale across multiple areas within an OEM, it's perfect for us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And no shortage of partners to choose from either. Right?
And no
That's the
shortage
thing,
of
right?
partners.
They're banging down on your door, right? Because they want to work with Bose.
They want to work with Bose. It's been nice to come here and see the passion for the brand, and also the respect for the brand. And so that's wonderful. And then from there, partners such as yourself, I mean, we have really good partnerships where we're trying to figure out how do we resolve what the OEMs are wanting, and what's the best possible solution. How do we help save them money and time to develop, and then we
stay competitive
and go forward.
Yeah. I want to turn to a moment to the consumer.
Yeah.
Right. We talked about performance, your commute being 30 minutes, your sanctuary. I mean, many musicians claim that that being in a car and listening to their music is second only to a recording studio. Why do you think that is? That there's just nothing to beat about it.
I think in general the reason it's that is because it's the one environment where everything's positioned for a purpose.
Yeah.
So if you buy a sound bar at home, they have no idea how your home is
gonna be over
laid out.
there.
Exactly. Where you put these things, everybody gives guidance on where to put things, but people do what they want.
Yeah.
In a vehicle, when you get it from an OEM, the OEM and us in particular, we work together to say, hey, what's the best solution? What is the right height of these speakers? Headrest speakers, whatever the case may be. How do we help drive the best audio solution?
Right.
And again, that's why it's important that we don't necessarily relent on what the quality of the system needs to be, but we provide that layout. I really don't know of any other location. You mentioned Dolby earlier. Unless you're in a movie theater and things are very scripted. But in terms of general consumer, most of the things you buy, you can put an earpiece in wrong. Headphones can be.
Yeah.
But in the
Operator
car,
error.
you're not moving. Yeah,
No.
operator error. You're not moving anything.
Yeah.
And for the most part, unless you go in and you touch and change some dials,
Yeah.
it's dialed in. So as soon as you get into it, whatever your favorite song is,
Yeah.
it's a cabin. It's been tuned to perform within that space.
Yeah.
Usually, especially with our noise cancellation, you get the outside noise that's canceled out, and you get to really listen to what you want to listen to. And that's what we're specializing in. Hear what you want to hear when you want to hear it.
I love it. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys obviously work with tons of different OEs across the world. Obviously there's quite different musical preferences depending on where you are.
Yeah.
But are there system preferences that you see as well, depending on where the OEM is based or where that particular model is going to be sold? Or what differences do you see amongst the regions?
So in regions in general, it's just how they operate and how they develop. So, and we all know China is extremely different in terms of just every aspect.
Sure.
What's unique about China right now is that they've just taken a lead on everything.
Yeah.
And so where it used to be a challenge in the market, now it is they're leading and the rest of the world's trying to catch up. But that in itself has its own development cycle and its own customer base, very fragmented, but also very futuristic and tech oriented.
Yeah.
Then you have customers in Europe that are very much into the sound signature and what you expect to hear from a certain brand. The design is much more important in terms of how you integrate. And I'd say the same thing for North America, but each one is different. Every OEM has a different architecture, roadmap, timing. It just depends on how they prioritize things. So for us, again, we're trying to build platforms that can basically scale globally, but we got to be a bit more flexible in terms of understanding when things are ready and available, and what's the best way to deliver the best solution to each customer. But they're all different.
Yeah,
they're all different.
Yeah. You mentioned roadmap. What kind of things are on your roadmap from a technological innovation perspective that you guys are really excited about in terms of pushing the envelope?
Yes. So first is our brands. You know, we purchased Macintosh and Sonos Faber. We're doing work right now to really accentuate what those brands and what that sound signature sounds like.
Yeah.
And to get these in the vehicle so people can experience the same thing you hear at home with the power of Macintosh and the beauty and the artistry of Sonos Faber and the sound. We want to get that into vehicles. So that's one of the major things we're working on.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, it's seat zone. It's what we call seat centric, but it's zonal audio.
Okay.
Allowing you to hear a phone call without the radio turning down elsewhere.
Yeah.
Isolation and cancellation within the
policy
vehicle.
management
Audio
stuff.
policy management is always coming through, which is interesting because again, just because you get a notification as a driver, do you want to then disturb the activity within the rest of the vehicle? And so it's really around performance, number one. And then after that, it is zonal audio, zonal experiences, and how do we deliver things, quiet modes. We have noise cancellation, which is a huge growth area for us that we're focused on. So anything around experiencing what you want to hear, when you want to hear it, canceling out road noise.
Yeah.
But then also, I say advanced features. How do we make sure that each seat is equally important in terms of delivery of audio? And what kind of capabilities and features and experiences do we want to deliver per seat, or what we call front row zones, rear zones, passenger driver. There are a lot of different things you can do within the vehicle, you know, without adding hardware.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's how do we deliver that
Perfect
better
for us.
solution? Yeah, better. Perfect.
It sounds like you're creating the kind of environment where even if your commute was 4 hours, you'd be happy with that because it would be such a great experience, right?
And that's the desire. You know, I my work is 20 minutes, but I'm in Michigan. I'm from Indianapolis, so my drive there 4 hours. I actually want to be entertained. I
look
want
forward to that drive.
I look forward
You don't
to
dread it.
I don't want it to feel like 8 hours. I want it to be, I'm here. I had such a great time getting here.
Okay, gotcha. How do you think about over-the-air updates in terms of, you know, what it could potentially bring from a revenue perspective? Is that a big part of the future for Bose in terms of how you see it contributing to the business?
I think it's a big part of our customers' future. So if you look at OEMs and they're trying to figure out, you know, quite candidly, automotive is a slim margin business. So it is really around, hey, how do I add value to my customers? But then also, how do I add value to ourselves and recurring revenue? I do think there's value in having a vehicle that updates and improves over time. Again, I come from the ADAS and autonomy space, and I've seen it where the more you collect data, the better you can improve and deliver functionality. Audio is no different. What are your preferences? What do you like to hear? What data can I collect that says, okay, I should deliver this kind of audio experiences because this person changes these equalizer settings or whatever the case may be. We have OEMs that have said, hey, we want to deliver certain capability over time or provide updates, or even a secondary market where it's like, hey, we have this new feature. we want to leave headroom in the compute such that we can then deliver it over and over the air update.
Yeah.
So for us, our model really doesn't change much, but we also have to be prepared to then deliver depending on how they want to roll out these capabilities. We develop rather based on the full capability.
Yeah.
And then from there, the OEM decides how they roll that out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Are there any dark clouds on the horizon that you foresee? You know, when you think about the next generation audio, where things are headed. I mean, all of this sounds incredible. What are the things that you keep you up at night, so to speak?
Well, so the main thing is that we get the roadmap right. Part of that is, what are the features that people really care about? Any organization, automotive engineering organization with research, you can spend a lot of money and time in areas that just don't result in commercialization.
Or what the customer wants.
Yeah. And if that happens, that's not my fault because I haven't given the organization the right information and driven the right requirements to say, hey, this is what's important. This is the feedback we're getting from our customers. What keeps me up mainly is more so, I say the importance of audio and making sure that we continue to uphold that value, that we don't get too stuck in our ways in terms of how we develop.
Yeah.
So that we have speed to market, that we're resolving a problem at the OEM, that we understand China and what that means for the rest of the world.
Right. Yeah.
In terms of speed to market, but also quality and performance capability within the vehicle. The rest of it is, how do we maintain our value? We have data and we have a consumer side that really shows Bose brings a value in terms of performance and garners a premium, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
And that it
means value.
Brand means value. Consumers see our name and it means something to them. We can't relinquish that.
No.
And so how do we maintain that? And I think we do that by making sure we deliver the right products and our roadmap is solid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing is obviously audio providers are the only other brand you see within a vehicle other than the
automotive. Yeah. Tires.
Tires and yeah.
Tires and audio.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got two more questions for you.
Okay.
So you talked about the car as your sanctuary. What is your go-to artist or song?
Okay.
When you go down to Indianapolis, when you get in the car for that drive, what's the one you turn to?
So I'm driving, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I need to stay up. It's probably Prince.
Prince.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm putting
From
Prince on. Yes.
Yes.
I'm putting Prince on an array of songs. I won't call it any particular song, but it just wakes me up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then my day to day, I'm a '76 hip hop kid. It's Jay-Z, it's Killer Mike, it's Wu-Tang, it's for me, it's those things that just keep me going.
Sure.
And the ironic thing is, I'm probably in my car by myself 80% of the time. And so I get to listen to what I want to. And my wife's not there telling me, nah, you can't hear
this is my playlist.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Last question. You mentioned you've been in the industry a long time. If you think about that younger you when you were starting out, what piece of advice would you give yourself, knowing what you know now?
I tell people this all the time. I think the piece of advice I would give is to do what you love and what you have a genuine interest in working on. For me, I've always been interested in music and I've always been interested in automotive. I love cars. Probably have too many, but I love it because it gives me a feeling, and then automotive or cars with the music just gives me a whole new feeling. But I always say now, not older, but more mature people that are in the industry, follow where the money's going. The interior sensing, interior control, software-defined vehicle. What you guys are doing, that's where the investment is going into vehicles. You can still be working in ICE engines if you want. And then granted, EV's not coming tomorrow in terms of, mass deployment, but it's going to continue to grow and there's going to be limited investment in those areas.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough, whether it was ADAS, whether it was initially safety, ADAS, autonomy.
Yeah.
I was at a LiDAR company and now I'm here. I've always been in spaces where the industry itself was investing in this new technology.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to justify your existence. You just have to deliver.
Yeah.
And granted, that's hard enough, but I'd rather focus on that than worrying about if I'm going to be around the next day. And I say, hey, go where your heart is and then also go where the investment is.
I like it.
Yeah.
Do what you love, but also know where the money's going.
That's
The
it.
money's going to software, so
That's it.
get into it.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much for chatting with us, Aaron.
I appreciate it.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
That's great.
thank you.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Good stuff.